It's Big Los, and today's show is brought to you by Audible. Audible is offering our listeners a free audiobook with a 30-day trial membership. Just go to audibletrial.com/beat and browse the unmatched selection of audio programs, download a title free, and start listening. It's that easy. Go to audibletrial.com/BEAT.
Boy, just be yourself. If people don't like you if you're being yourself, fuck them.
Hollywood Kev. And welcome to another episode of The Noize. If you haven't yet, go ahead and follow us on the big three, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Noize Podcast. And of course, follow everything Beat Network at beatnetworkonline.com. And we're back.
Yeah.
Another week.
This week went by pretty fast, too.
This week flew the fuck by.
Yeah.
I want to say, you know what? October didn't go that quick. As far as like the rest of this year, it was almost like it was racing each other. But October seemed to took its time.
Really, I don't feel. I feel that way about September.
Nah, September seemed.
I feel that way about September.
September was the rabbit pumps. This was October was the slow stroke.
Slow stroke was October.
October was in love. September was just trying to get that nut off.
Maybe
as well as the rest of the year.
But this week went by fast.
This week definitely sped the fuck up. We are now in November. It's crazy that we're literally 2 months away from 2020 already.
Yeah. Whole new decade.
Whole new decade.
What was you doing in 2010?
Probably some fuck shit. I was, a year into my fraternity. Far from home.
Oh, yeah, you was definitely doing fuck shit.
No, you know what? In 2010. Yeah.
You was doing some fuck shit.
Yeah, it was a whole lot of fuck shit.
Yeah, it was probably fun.
But it was some fun fuck shit.
It was some fuck shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
But nonetheless, some fuck shit. How was your expedited week, sir?
My week was cool. I didn't do much, but watch new shows, read a little bit, and that's about it.
Good, damn.
I didn't do much. Nah. Was in the gym majority of the week, but I didn't do much.
I saw that you've been posting about hooping. What, they scared to step up with Hollywood? What's going on?
No, I don't. I'm out of the loop, so I gotta work back in the loop.
I got you.
You know what I mean? Like when everybody that hoops, you know everybody that hoops. So it's almost like a fraternity, even though y'all don't talk to each other like that. So when one person doesn't do it for a while,
we don't talk to each other like that either.
Yeah. So when one person doesn't do it for a while, you gotta kind of work back in that circle. So.
Oh, okay. Good deal. But you gotta let me know whenever y'all get back to actually doing the league games and shit. I'm trying.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll be sometime next month. Hopefully.
I remember when you was doing the initial time. I'm like, nigga, let me know when you in there. And then every time you were there, I was at work.
Yeah, sometime. Hopefully it'll be next week or next month.
I keep vouching for your skills in basketball, and then
I'm trash.
I still
now.
haven't seen it.
I'm trash now. If you were to see me now and take into account of what I would talk back then, you'd be like, nigga, what? Sit your old ass down.
What you doing?
Yeah, no, I'm working back to it. I'm trash now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. At least my version of trash.
Where does your version of trash differ from the traditional version of trash?
Because I was better than everybody else, so my version of trash would automatically be worse than what theirs would be. My version of trash is still can compete with some of the people that would be at the top of the game.
Oh, okay.
That's what I mean.
All right, well, yep, you got to see this. Go down. My week was cool. My week was busy. I know it's always fucking busy. But it was like legit busy. Mm-hmm. Like I took majority of the time to edit the REVOLT Summit.
Yeah,
shit,
great interviews,
solid interviews. We can really talk about that. That was a lot more entertaining than my actual week itself. We didn't get a chance to talk about it last week because we had Kinky T from the Kinky Blunt Talks podcast on the show. Shout out to her.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was a very fun episode, very informative.
Yeah,
episode.
Learn something.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people looked into polyamory, really see, the lifestyle, see how shit shake.
That's too much for me.
Found out it's a lot more popular than what I thought,
yeah.
Especially when it comes down to story time with Los. Mm-hmm. And yes, just teaser. There's a story time with Los coming.
Okay.
But yeah, the REVOLT Summit, 2019 REVOLT Summit. We talked about when we initially got accepted to Atlanta, and then how all that stuff played out. Just kind of really touch on that really quick. No one did any interviews when we were in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. When they came to the red carpet, everything was running behind. That they prioritized REVOLT and they prioritized AT&T because obviously it's their event.
All right.
So no one got any interviews. None of the independents, really, and none of the majors either got interviews. But I'm happy that Atlanta happened because I had an idea.
Well, you got to see exactly how things kind of work.
And then really the full, train, that was rolling in LA. Because once I got there, I'm like, okay, cool. I know I can't leave this area. I know that where I'm positioned at, and cool, we're going to just rock with that. So when we get to the summit in LA, first and foremost, whatever growing pains they got from Atlanta, they grew the fuck up when it came down to Los Angeles, bro. The actual media room was nice as hell, air conditioned. It was plush couches in that joint, bro. It was everything it needed to be. Like in between the time that people was actually coming down to get the interviews and stuff like that, cats was comfortable,
right?
And
Atlanta, you just out there sweating.
Atlanta, bro, I was just out there just picking off calories, bro.
Gotcha.
I literally was looking like I was on some kind of slave boat. Like, hold on, I'm just trying to record shit saying like swing low.
Well, it is Atlanta.
Right, pretty much. I'm pretty sure we were on somebody's plantation at the time.
Yeah.
But this time around, man, it was super dope. Got to take Jay Alonzo with me. That's one thing we spoke about was this time around we were actually specially invited to apply for meeting and everything like that, which ultimately signaled that we were in there. So, and then this how we were able to get more people in. So I brought Jay Alonzo with me, and I kind of had to tell him like, look, Doc, you got to control the fanboy. It's literally going to be a situation of just celebrities just walking all over the fucking place. And he heard me, but it's almost like, the actual processing of what I said didn't hit. Bro, we was sitting there, and then boom, in walks Van Jones. So I'm like, oh, okay, let's go grab this interview real quick. So we got Van Jones, got him in the interview, and then once that was over, I think an hour went past. Then everybody started just filing in. But it was a solid fucking experience.
That's good. Real good.
If you haven't had a chance to check all that stuff out, again, you can go to all of our social media, to the Beat Network Facebook page, which I believe is facebook.com/Beat Network 1, at Beat Network on Instagram. You can actually watch the full videos through IGTV and on the actual page itself. Solid interviews with really big level cats: Angela Rye, Killer Mike, Jeff Johnson, Van Jones, as I mentioned before, spectacular. He has some gems to drop.
Yeah,
that man is ridiculously paid for just from digital marketing.
That's amazing.
You know what I mean? So he came through, dropped some gems, and dropped an exclusive that he's ultimately going to be doing his own summit, and cater to digital marketing and everything like that. So I thought all that was dope. We did have one interview that we actually didn't put out. So first of all, when I say Murder Beats, do you know who that is?
No.
Okay. So Murder Beats, I think his most reputable production was
I think I have heard that name before. Is that a white boy?
Yeah.
I think I have seen that name before.
Okay, because we had no fucking clue.
Yeah, I have seen that name before. Yeah.
Yeah. Once he came down, there was like, "Yeah, want to get an interview Murder Beats?" I'm like, "All right, well, any interview would count." Then I'm like, "Okay, who the fuck is Murder Beats?" And then we looked into it. Now he did us. He had a lot of production credits with Drake and really that whole OVO team. And his answers were very limited.
Gotcha.
So we was like, I don't know if you got a chance to see the Baron Davis interview.
Yeah, I did.
It was less than that.
Wow. Wow.
And that was a quick one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even when we asked him what could we expect from you next, he said everything. And they just stared at us. I'm like, all right, I guess that does qualify as an answer. He did let us know what is next, which means he doesn't know what's next. So I'm like, you know what, fuck it. No point of posting that. But if y'all, if there are any Murder Beats fans out there, we interviewed him too. My favorite one, to actually interview was Killer Mike.
Yeah,
we spoke about Killer Mike on this show plenty of fucking times. So actually get there, speak to him, and then get the gems that I was really looking for for speaking to him. It was perfect to me.
Yeah, I knew you was geeked about that.
Oh, absolutely. Then the whole setup in general was it was perfect.
It seemed like it was way more, like it flowed better.
Absolutely. And then having that special invite, we were prioritized. So, a lot of people, they would show up and they take their pictures, and then whoever was, controlling, where they go, right after they get done taking the pictures, they got pointed over to us. Only time we kind of had to take a back seat to somebody was just for Spectacular, but that's only because that was on me. I didn't have my shit set up in enough time. So he ended up doing like 2 other interviews and then got to us, which is why the Spectacular interview was at a whole different angle. But the Killer Mike one was great. The Angela Rye one, I was smitten the entire time. I was like, listen, if y'all were able to see my face on the other end, it was the goofiest fucking just smile I'm just like,
like a kid just got some candy.
Yeah, entire time, bro. She cracked. I don't want to say a corny joke because it's Angela Rye, but she cracked a joke that that I think she knew wasn't funny, but I gave her that chuckle. I definitely kept like, ha ha, you are so funny. If activism don't work out, stand up. That's where you need to go because you are funny. Anyone else hear this joke? Angela motherfucking Rye, ladies and gentlemen. But that was dope. I didn't want to ask questions that we got like the most cliche responses and shit like that. And I also didn't want to ask about anything controversial that they had going on. Like even when I talked to Killer Mike, I referenced the fact that the video went viral, but I also...
Which video?
The one that he had back in Atlanta.
Okay, yeah.
I referenced the fact that it went viral, and I just kind of wanted to know, the important... I think it goes into the... he was talking about the being able to say whatever he wants to, because he participates in capitalism and all this other good stuff. And I didn't want to touch too much on what actually happened. I wanted to get gems because I wanted to make sure that whatever he says resonates with people because it's Killer Mike, and that's really what you expect from Killer Mike.
Right.
And that was the route that I took with everybody that I asked questions to. It was a solid event, man.
Yeah, the questions or the answers that they gave, it seemed like the questions was very like solid. They weren't like no rinky-dink questions to get a rinky-dink answer.
Right. That whole setup though, that getting down there was the most annoying shit in the world.
Like getting to the actual event?
Yes, because I got off at 6. Mm-hmm. No, I got off at 4, and went straight to the airport to go rent a car. Mm-hmm. Then had to go pick up everybody from all over the fucking city. Mind you, it's like 5:30, and I'm in Henderson, and now I got to make my way all the way back to the north. It ain't never taken me an hour to go anywhere in Las Vegas. Yeah. Matter of fact, if it's an hour, that means I'm at the state line or I'm damn near the bar still if I'm driving anywhere in this fucking city. It took me an hour.
Wow.
So that took away time. And then then
you got to go back.
Then I got to go back down that way just to head the fuck out.
Yeah.
Bro, it was so fucking annoying, but we were able to make it to L.A., stayed at my cousin's house. It was actually his 30th birthday as well, so we were able to celebrate with him. It was just a solid time. It was a really good time out there, so we're looking forward to the next one. If I don't get the invite this time, I'm just going to apply because I feel like that's going to be ours anyway, and just going to rock with it from there, man. So, again, if you haven't checked out the interviews, Facebook.com/BeatNetwork1 and Instagram @BeatNetwork. You can watch all the interviews. Some of them are available on the page. Some of them are available through IGTV. And go ahead and educate yourself. Learn yourself.
Yeah, learn something.
Definitely big up to Brian Michael Cox, producer Brian Michael Cox. If you don't know who that is, Google him. That man is literally the sound of the 90s. Big up to him. Big up to Jeff Johnson. They both shared the interviews. Mm-hmm. And also big up to Ebony K. Williams, who was the second female host on State of the Culture. We were able to get some good conversations with them, and she shared that she interviewed with us. So, yeah, go ahead and check it out because if they thought it was solid, y'all gonna think it's solid.
Exactly.
So, story time with Los. My nigga.
Is this an old story or like a recent story?
I'm gonna let the person who gave me the story tell you all about it.
Okay.
This is gonna be the first story time with Los that is brought to you by a third party. So it's just something.
It's sponsored by Story Time.
Exactly. It's almost like Audible. And you can definitely go to audibletrial.com/beat and get you that free trial, 30 days, and a free download. I'm gonna go ahead and get this microphone set up here. Excuse me. Third person, if you'd like to pull up a chair, you're more than welcome to hop on here. It was definitely an unexpected story.
Okay.
How everything went down. This also reminds people that these dating sites, they bring some good people around. Bring some really good and interesting people around. So on the mic is one of my nearest and dearest friends, literally known this woman for the last 12 years. She's also my sorority sister. One of my best friends, DLeZaye.
Hey.
Welcome to the Noize. How are you, sis?
I'm good. Thank you.
Good. I'm an early story time before this actual story time itself. I actually gave her the name DLeZaye.
Yeah.
Okay.
So back when we were in school, we were also college buddies. Mm-hmm. I figured if you say something with enough compassion and enough belief, everyone else will believe it.
True.
So one day she was hella far, and I said LeZaye as if it was her middle name. People were like, is her middle name actually DLeZaye? And I didn't realize how long it stuck because people were asking, oh, I thought your middle name was DLeZaye. Ain't that what Lo said? So that shit just stuck. So I have no problem taking that kind of credit.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. It's something I use for everything. So
yes.
So thanks.
It all worked out.
Yeah, definitely.
So, you had an interesting time on Tinder, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Kind of walk us through,
I don't even know where to begin with this story.
All right, so I'll set it up. Y'all know how Tinder go, left swipe, right swipe, all that good shit. And there was a person that swiped you, or you swiped them, or y'all swiped each other.
And then we matched each other.
Okay, so swiping. No, y'all didn't. As I'm sitting here thinking about it, no, the fuck y'all didn't. But anyway, somebody was swiped, and I believe you said you knew this gentleman for a day, 2 days.
Not even a full day or two.
Not even a full day. See, understand, now that we are in 2019, we are in the unfiltered era. We are in the era of say how you feel and offend people later, and they instantly get offended. But this wasn't one of those situations. This was one of those situations that, you know what, if I lay it all on the line, I'm gonna get mine.
Just put it all out there.
If I put it all out there, I'm gonna get them draws whacked. So what did he tell you to get your hot and bothered, DLeZaye?
Honestly, it was just something I was trying. So I'm like, let's see how this goes. I'm trying to get back on this dating thing, whatever. And he was very open, which I was looking for, but he was like really, really open.
Hella open.
Right off the bat.
Damn, they're busting it open.
Yeah. And so he's kind of telling me about his life, and he starts sending me these videos. The first videos, actually, and I don't know if I mentioned this before, were him with other women. Okay. But it was like him and a homeboy with other women. So I was like, this is weird, but okay, why did you send me these things?
Now, when you say other women, like is it like a picture with him and another girl?
No, like they're videos of him banging it out.
Oh.
With different chicks.
This was his Tinder intro.
His intro was like, hey, I'm so-and-so. Here you go, girl.
Pipe game.
Yeah. Enjoy for your viewing pleasure. So I was like, this is odd, but whatever. Well, he's clearly open to some things because it was with him and his homeboy.
Yeah. He was definitely forced.
Wait, time out. So it's him and his homeboy, just them two, or?
No, him and his homeboy and other women. Like, they're all together.
But it's funny you'd mention that.
All right.
Just you
continue.
wait.
Okay. Right. Continue.
So that goes on, and I'm making this sound like it happened over a course of days, but it was really like in one day.
How recent is this? It's like this old?
This is probably like, this is November. So it's about September.
Oh, this is like right around the corner.
Yeah, this is like just happened to hop, skip, and a day ago. Like, okay. Yeah. So he starts sending me other videos, and it's with just a bunch of guys in a room jacking it. And
wait, so he sent you a video of a circle jerk? Oh. A circle jerk? What's it called?
It was a communal masturbation.
That's gross.
Play with a friend sometimes. But that's not the best part.
No, it wasn't. That part wasn't good. But carry on.
How many people?
It had to be like 15 niggas.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
it was. I can say niggas.
Of course, we
can say whatever the hell you want.
It was a cult.
So I had to ask. I'm like, how did you run up on this? This is not something you just stumble into. And he was like, yeah, one of my homeboys invited me over, and I could hear like moaning, like as we're walking to the basement. So he's like, oh, they about to get it popping. Like it's about a bunch of girls down there. They probably in there getting it in. And he hits the corner, and it's a bunch of niggas. So then he's like, he looks at his homeboy, and his homeboy's like, kind of like, what? What
do you do on Thursdays? You know what I'm saying?
And then he was like, you don't have to, like, you can go home if you want to. And he's like, no, I'll see how this goes.
This was his first time being amongst 15 niggas. Just
he was down.
He was like,
he was down.
He was just.
You remember in Home Alone when he goes into the basement and he sees like the furnace, yeah, and he immediately was like, not fucking with it. Not this guy.
Not this guy. He seen 15 niggas jerking and he was like, hey,
let's see.
You know what?
So they did the little communal masturbation, and
wait, who records this shit?
So that's what I was trying to find out too, and it was one of his homeboys. So this was
he got a homeboy in there recording the other homeboys in there jerking each other.
Yeah, while he's also jerking himself, the guy recording, which
he's both handed.
Yeah, he's
it's some sick people out there.
So I mean, I found out
there's only chapter 2, brother. We gotta get the rest of this book.
There's more. I mean, I'm like open to things. So if like a guy's like trying out things,
Well, you can be open to things, but I'm pretty sure you're not open to 15 niggas jerking.
Well, so like if you're trying to explore your sexuality and you're not really sure, or you're like, hey, I want to see what this is about or whatever, I'm like, go for it. That's cool. Like I'm not one to judge. It just kept going from there though, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to.
But it kept going with the final mission to smang.
Yeah, so like it started out just communal, and then it was like, hey, your hand looks nice. You wanna hop over here? So then it's like they're each messing with each other, and then eventually, a couple of days later, they're starting to give each other head, and a couple of days after that, they're fucking somebody. So,
and this is all recorded.
This is all recorded, and I got every single video.
They just met, Kevin.
What type of freak shit is this?
These were the tools to get in the draws.
Now, I've said some wild things in my day when I think back on it, but I ain't never went that far. Ever. That's not even a thought in my mind.
Like I said, we just had the conversation. The most we've done is taking the bus a great distance.
Right. I've taken a 3-hour bus ride to get something like...
This was an every weekend thing, he said.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
Even though it was wild as fuck, I couldn't help but laugh because, like, the first thing that I imagined was like a Family Guy episode. You know how when
that definitely sounds like a Family Guy episode.
You know how when they automatically go into the choreography and shit like that, the whole time they're down there, do 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 do. I jack my dick, he jacked my dick, we jacked our dicks together.
That would definitely be a Family Guy song.
It was so crazy because I'm listening to the story. I completely forgot this is all through Tinder. This was an attempt.
Well, he didn't even have your number yet.
No. He had my WhatsApp, so I was getting the videos through WhatsApp.
I wonder what the administrators that can see all this. I wonder what they were thinking. Like, yo, it's some wild shit going on over here.
To my homeboys,
come look at this shit.
I deadass. I was like, I need you to see this. Like, I need to know if I'm tripping or not.
Nah,
I'm so sorry.
I mean, it's just what's going on. I got off.
Niggas are nasty.
Yeah. I was on Tinder for 2 days. I was like, no thanks, I'm good.
Yeah, that was a hell of an experience.
Yeah, niggas are nasty, yo. Were these videos like, did he send you one, wait like an hour or so, send you another one, or did he just be like, bam, send you one, 3 minutes later, send you another one? Like, he was like, yo, I'm just here.
So he actually sent me like 5. Initially, and I was like, wait, what? Why am I getting
out the back?
Out the back, yeah. I was just like, wow, I don't even know your first name. Like, I know you're whatever you go by on Tinder.
But I can suck some dick.
Right. I was like, this was before the second.
Okay. So, I understand.
I can see, I would, your face is like.
I understand that he thought in his head that, okay, if I do something, if I put these videos out there, then that could potentially help me get the box. But I don't see how him sending videos of him with men helps him get the box. Now that may help him with another dude, but I don't see how that helps with the woman. Like I don't get it.
Again, I'm open. So like if he was like, yeah, I was just trying some things. I'm trying to see where I'm at. I've been like, okay, cool. You get to explore. Like I want you to know where you sit, and if you don't know, then that's cool. But then it just kept going, and I was like, you clearly don't want me. It's fine. Like, you just wanted a homegirl to talk to about it.
He needed to get this off his chest.
He's like, I've been holding on to this for 30 years. I just need to get this off my chest.
He needed to vent. That's what that was.
Yeah.
What was his, like, did he have any, like, message? Like, when he sent the video, was it just a video? They'd be like, hey, yo, this is me Thursday. Like, did he say anything about it?
No, it would just be a video.
Did he send, like, a thought emoji after?
Right. Like, what you think about this?
What you think?
I would just get a video, and then I'd get, like, maybe a text later. Hey, did you get my videos? I'm like, yeah, I did. What?
He didn't want to talk about nothing but the video.
Yeah.
Right. He wanted your critique.
Yeah, it was weird. And then like there'd be times where we would be talking on the phone, like through the app, and I would just be saying stuff, and I wouldn't hear from him anymore. I'd be like, "What are you doing?" He's
sucking
like,
dick.
No, he'd be like, "Oh, I'm just jacking off right now." I'm like, What is going on? This is how I got to a place. My life just.
How old was this guy?
Like 30 something.
What was his complexion?
He was light skinned.
I was gonna ask that, like, but I ain't think. I was like, nah, because I don't want to ask that. And yeah,
no, I figured he was black because I know you.
Yeah.
But it was just like, nah, this don't sound like some chocolate nigga.
However, one of
he
his
wasn't
homeboys,
chocolate.
Though,
That's
was
his problem.
chocolate. The one in the video, he actually. You know, there's so much more to that story I forgot about. He sent me his homeboy. He sent me a picture of his homeboy. Then he also sent me a picture of his homeboy's dick. And was like, yeah, it's big, right? I'm like, yeah.
Whoa.
I mean,
This is day one of Tinder. This is the intro to Tinder. Wow. But okay, so because we had this conversation when we talked about it the other day.
Wait, hold up. Clear up this conversation. What we talked about the other day?
Huh?
What we talked about the other day?
Oh, no, I'm talking this is between me and her.
Okay.
Because I was literally sitting there. We were high as a giraffe's ass. And I just stopped. I was like, oh, I'm about to have a hell of a story time with Los. I knew immediately this was going on the show. But I was trying to like really think about it. Like at some point when you're experimenting, but that ain't experimenting.
yeah, no,
That's
not.
he's pretty sure he's gay.
Yeah,
at that
yeah,
point.
yeah.
at that
No,
point,
he was
yeah.
just,
Yeah.
he just was.
Unless he got the same mindset as Tank.
But that's the thing. But Tank was 2 dicks. That was 15 dicks every Saturday.
Yeah, most people play golf, and he went to communal masturbating with his homies.
Can you imagine a nigga running downstairs because he know he late? I'm sorry, guys. I'm busy at the office. Move over, Larry. This is my spot. Like it was just the funniest shit ever because at the end of the day, the end result was to fuck.
No, it couldn't have been. Couldn't have been his end result. It couldn't have been.
You know what? Oh, I literally just put it together. You were going to be the sacrificial box.
Oh gosh,
They were going to bring you downstairs and they would come out with their black robes.
They was trying to find a new cameraman. They was trying to find a new cameraman. They was, hey, you like this? Come record. Because we got to get old boy in the mix. That's
This
what
ain't too
was.
weird for you. We've been trying to get Fred in this.
That's what that was.
Nah, you gonna go down that stairs, finna be like, oh, shit, boy. Everyone just opens their robe slowly. And roll on too. Everybody grab the dick. And then immediately go to it.
Wow.
So,
Were they like where were they from? Like where was this from? Like where was this at?
I believe this is when he lived in Cali.
Whoa. Some freaks out there.
Yeah, he had just moved to the area, so he
was he in North Hollywood?
Oh, I don't know. I'm
pretty sure.
I didn't get that far. Didn't get that far.
What if he was in Compton?
Long Beach. So I also have to ask because I didn't know about the. I'm just jacking it.
Yeah.
I didn't know about
I
that
forgot.
part. What were you talking about at that time?
Probably like
What were your responses? Like
I didn't have any. I just be like, hello, and he'd be like, oh yeah.
she thought somebody hacked his phone.
No, seriously.
He was
He'd be
getting random
like,
shit.
oh, I was just jacking, and I'd be like,
That is fucking nuts.
all right, I'm gonna call you later.
That is nuts.
'Cause-
Well, he was like, wait.
Yeah, he's like,
Wait,
no, stay on the phone.
Just,
Yeah, keep talking. I'm like,
just hum to me. Hum to me.
yeah, it was weird.
Do you know any songs? Do you know any music?
That's fucking crazy.
I
Yeah.
just want to take this opportunity to apologize to all of my beautiful black queens because I don't think I've met a single one of y'all that has had some kind of a wild fucking story in this regard. Like whether it's
Yeah, that's what
15 dicks and mutual masturbation, play with a friend, to some others, or just a real wild fucked up nigga. Goddamn.
Yeah, this is what it's like.
yeah, again, I'm so sorry.
Right.
I'm so sorry.
I had a girl punch me in the mouth once. That was,
Right.
that was pretty much the long short end of it. You
Yeah.
know? I've had
It's
some
not
pretty
the
bad
best.
experiences.
It's not the best.
Thank you for coming on and
Yeah,
telling the
no
story,
problem.
D. Feel free to comfortable yourself.
That's some white boy shit, son.
Nope, some light skin shit. Officially. Shout out to my sister for hopping on the show. This is her first time actually seeing the studio as well. So, she was able to come in here and get her demons off. Let that be done. So in the comment section, ladies, the 10% that listen to this show, have y'all ever played with a friend? Like, what is your cult life like?
Yeah. What is y'all craziest story? Do y'all have something that goes on?
I want to hear this. I mean, we just had the polyamorous conversation last episode. So now
I
at this point,
think that's beyond polyamorous.
oh, that's some different shit. I don't even think you titled it. Gay friends. What is that called? What are these cults?
That's called Wednesday.
Right? It was called Saturday, apparently.
Yeah, it's called Saturday.
Oh well.
Wow.
That was story time with Los featuring DLeZaye. So shout out to her for coming on. And just the natural transition from a story like that is getting into some serious shit. So we have to send our condolences, our rest in peace, our prayers to the late great John Witherspoon.
Absolutely.
Recently passed away at 77. Natural causes, of course. So and you posted this on your Facebook. This hurt.
Yeah, it's one of the things I knew it was coming. Like you naturally know it's coming,
right?
But it's like, damn, man, really?
Like you know it's gonna naturally come because that's the go ahead in life in general. We're literally living to die.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's just with this one is different. Like, and I'm not I don't think that this person should die. I actually think it's a blessing that they're even living as long as they are. But you think it's like, damn, we got Betty White as long as we have. Like, shit, like you would think John Witherspoon would be our Betty White.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you really think about it, his entire career, he's been.
It seems like he's been old forever.
For his entire career, he's been, a dad. And I actually saw a meme that brought a lot of it into, it brought a lot of it into making sense. He was one of those old cats from an older generation who, one, never really changed his style and still remained funny, and two, he never shitted on the younger generation coming up in the comedy game and the younger generation coming up in the entertainment business. He just always remained some kind of a father figure.
If you really think about it, how they say Bill Cosby was America's dad, you can probably say that he's middle America's dad. He's he's some black people's dad, but he's definitely like it's just the white people. You know what I mean? Like but Pops was like urban. That was like our dad. You know what I mean? Like,
you know what? That's hitting the nail on the head. I think John Witherspoon really was Black America's dad.
Yeah, when you really think about it, I mean, we had him with the Wayans brothers. And then,
even before then, we had him playing David Allen Greer's dad on Boomerang.
Right, but I'm talking about we did have him then. But I'm talking about for our specific generation. Like we had him Wayans brothers, and we had him with Friday, and then pretty sure he did some other stuff after that. We had him with Boondocks. So it's like that's been our dad, so to speak.
Right, for the longest. He was also I think it was Kadeem Hardison's uncle in Vampire in Brooklyn.
I think it was that's ironically that's like one of my favorite movies.
That's a great fucking
movie. Yeah, I think it was his uncle. You flip flopped it. I was watching that shit like
flip flopped it.
I was watching that shit like 2 days ago. That's like one of my favorite movies.
But it's so crazy, man, and it hurt. Like it literally snuck up on people. Everybody was sitting around like, "Whoa, John Witherspoon died."
Yeah, and you know what's crazy about that is because I think a couple years ago there were like false reports like saying he died, and or you know what I mean. Like so you would see those, find out they're fake, and then you would see the ones where it'd be a picture and it'd be like. Well, you would think he died because you see the picture and be like, "Nah, he's living well today."
He's alive and well,
and now it's he's actually dead. So yeah, it sucks.
And it's crazy because he had a cooking channel that I can admit.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, it was a fake cooking channel. It was obviously for comedic purposes. But and I wouldn't watch it often. I don't want to sit here and cap, but I definitely did catch episodes here and there. And he posted an episode a day before he died.
Wow.
And he was making poor man's gumbo. And shit was hilarious. It's John Witherspoon. But at the end of the video, which he would ultimately do in all his videos, he would just say, he's like, "Goodbye. I love you guys. Love each other." And it's crazy that was literally the last thing that we got from John Witherspoon, at least on record. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also it hurt because he was literally just in Cleveland. He was at Cleveland. I think he was at the Cleveland Funny Bone. I think he was on his way out here to do the Laugh Factory. Like the man was torn.
Yeah, he was busy. He was busy. I mean, with that, and then with them working on the latest Friday, you got the Boondocks come back. He was going to be busy.
He mentioned that in his last episode. He said he was like, "I'm sorry, I haven't been back in a while. Where as you know, I've been very busy. So I'm torn. We're recording a new season of the Boondocks. We're working on a new Friday. Like he dropped gems.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So the fact. Him passing right now literally changes the landscape for both of those projects. Yeah. And maybe some other projects that could have been in the works. Because first of all, there is no Boondocks without Granddad.
There isn't, but if the writers are really good and they kind of, I hope, like us, like we know this was eventually going to happen. If they kept that in mind, they could kind of finagle it. I'm not saying it'd be the easiest or to be the best initially, but they can finagle it to where it can still work. As far as Friday goes, I don't know about that, brother.
Oh no, there is no Friday.
I don't know about that.
There's no Friday without Mr. Johnson.
Yeah, I don't know about that. So I mean, they can still do something, just have him in left scenes, but it's like a lot of people go see that movie for Pops. So.
Yeah, like when you think about his catchphrases, majority of them came from Friday. Yeah. Well, then again. Those are his comedic catchphrases. Like that's what he would use in his stand-up and stuff like that. But they were popularized by Friday. You know what I mean? And even he was doing it in a Boomerang. You know, so you got to coordinate.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Bro, I was watching that clip and I was crying, laughing. He was like, I came over here, I was impressing you. You know what I'm saying? Got the mushroom shirt, matched the mushroom belt with the mushroom fucking interior of the fucking suit. I was like, there's no one like John Witherspoon.
And he has a lot of stuff that he did in that didn't get like crazy buzz, but it was hilarious. Like Soul Plane.
Right.
Soul Plane, he was fucking hilarious. But obviously, like the main heads was the Kevin Hart and Method Man, those are main people. But Soul Plane was fucking hilarious.
Same thing with what was it? I want to say it was Ride, super low budget movie. Had Malik Yoba, Fredro Starr, Sticky Fingers,
Malik Yoba, Sticky Fingers,
Badumcha. He probably was in that cult. But yeah, like he has a lot of film credits that. It sucks because we only get to see this stuff when people pass away, but I've been seeing so much shit like, damn, John Witherspoon wasn't
Yeah,
like,
his resume is crazy.
I completely forgot that John Witherspoon was in the Give It To Me video.
Really?
The Jay-Z record.
He was.
Yeah, I completely fucking forgot that.
He was.
And he was in there doing his full John Witherspoon dance and everything, bro. It sucked to see that he passed.
Yeah, it did. It did. And even though I knew he was pretty old, his age was younger than what I thought. Yeah. You know what I mean? I thought he was mid-80s up there. No, he had a little bit. He had about a good 10, 15 years to go. Right. You know what I mean? If we want to say that this is when people naturally go.
For it to make more sense. Like, okay, 85, 86, okay, cool. Gotcha. Right. 77 in the entertainment industry, like, I don't know. I think he has more time. Coming from the era you came from.
Coming from the era you came from, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
What was your favorite John Witherspoon performance?
Well, I mean, shit. So many, because I loved him in Wayans Brothers. Loved him in Friday. I'm going to say Vampire in Brooklyn only because that's like, again, it's like one of my favorite movies. Like that's top 3 favorite movie for me. So I'm gonna say that. And his performance in Soul Plane, like it was hilarious to me. This man fingered a baked potato. It was hilarious to me. So probably those two. But
with the blind eye,
right? But. It's so many. It is hard to choose one. It is.
I have to go with the Wayans Brothers.
Yeah, if it wasn't those two, it would be that one.
Yeah, I gotta go with the Wayans Brothers. Even though
that episode where they was taking him to the club and he was in the club all the time and he started dressing like the young cats. That shit is fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, definitely. When he
was fly as hell though, but that was hilarious.
When he hopped up on the table with a bang bang bang, do that thing. That was amazing. Yeah. But one thing that you saw is like stand out with John Witherspoon in the Wayans Brothers, Wayans Bros, however you want to pronounce it, was when he had to come in to protect his boys. Anytime it was a problem.
Oh yeah, he was always with the shit.
Y'all set tripping up here.
Yeah, he was with the shit. Yeah.
I think I said that for probably about a good 10 years after the fact. Yeah. Man. Again, man, this sucks, but obviously, death, the only thing in life that's certain is death. So you kind of saw it coming after a while. So definitely rest in peace to John Witherspoon. Condolences to his family. Condolences to everyone he's worked with. And really condolences to everyone who grew up with his comedy. Yeah. Because his comedy never changed. No. Like, it always remained the same and it always hit. No matter what, whether it was Black Jesus, Boondocks, everything else we just mentioned.
Cross-generational, like it hit.
Exactly. No matter what, it hit. So definitely rest in peace to John Witherspoon.
I agree. Absolutely.
So we missed some things having that last episode that we kind of wanted to touch on here. We wanted to talk about the first of all, did you finally see the Gucci Mane interview?
Yeah, I saw it.
So we wanted to talk about Gucci Mane's interview with Charlamagne the God. I'll let you go first. I kind of have like two sides with the actual interview itself. What did you think of the interview and what Gucci was giving you?
Honestly, I don't feel like he gave us anything more than what he could have gave us on Breakfast Club. Mm-hmm. I know Charlamagne was taking heat for doing the interview in the first place. I don't fault him for doing the interview. Right. Where I fault him is you can't let somebody that you consider family or I'm assuming y'all work every day, so I'm assuming you're some type of friendship. You know what I mean? You can't let a outside person come in and just badmouth. Right. And if that does take place, whether you knew it was going to take place or not, it doesn't. There's an edit. You can edit it. Right. You know what I mean? So I feel like he should have did that. I understand he was like, well, I don't want to censor and I don't want to edit. Editing someone is not censoring. Right. You know what I mean? You're not taking out, you're not changing words or anything. You just, this part of the show, I'm not putting out.
Right.
He could have did that and probably would have did less heat. Or the only heat he would have got was, hey, yo, we feel like you shouldn't have did that interview. But I mean, I understand why he did it. Now, do I feel like with it being that particular person, should he have let envy and you know, like, yo, I'm going to do this interview, you know, it's for this. Yeah, you should have, but I mean, you didn't. So I mean, you can't change it. I don't feel he was completely in the wrong, but I do feel like he shares some fault.
And now that I agree with. That's actually something I've been saying as well. I do think that, you know, he was in the wrong for not saying anything, especially if that's your people's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
if it's just some people, you know what I mean, you come to work, you don't give a fuck about it. Hey, my nigga, hey, do what you gonna do.
And I would even understand if he didn't say anything if he was just talking about DJ Envy. But the fact that he was saying something about Yee and how far they go back, because they go back even before the Breakfast Club. So I'm like, yeah, that would make more sense. The only thing that bothers me about it is really the hypocrisy of the listeners. Because even though I agree he definitely should have said something, Fredro Starr was going to fight him.
Right.
Baby pulled up on him. There was no one in his corner then.
Yeah, you're right.
Everybody was quiet. You know what I'm saying? They were just letting him
right.
get chopped up. Nelly was like, we keep retainers for niggas like you. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fact that you can ask Charlamagne, when's the one time you felt truly scared? And he said it was with Nelly because of the whole retainer conversation. I don't like the fact that it had to be defense just because it was Angela Yee.
Right.
I don't like hypocrisy.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. You're absolutely right about
You know
all
what I'm saying? So it's like if we're all of a sudden supposed to be a team and everything like that, I just feel like he's getting a lot of it just because of Charlamagne the guy. And like I said, to me, I've never really been a fan of that. You're in this industry, you know what this industry, you know what I'm saying, you know, brings in or whatever. If you go out and do an interview and somebody talking crazy about me, do I expect you to react? Absolutely. And again, if I was in a situation, I would absolutely say something.
Yeah. But see, the difference between that, because I agree with you on that, the difference being is he didn't edit it. He just let it rock. It's one thing where, you know, shit happened during the interview and he didn't react or he didn't do nothing. Okay, you didn't do nothing. But when you go back and you watch that interview over again to see what you want to take or whatever the case is, that don't have to go there. That's what he didn't do. He did not have to put that there. So, yeah, okay, I can see what you mean by, like, it's an interview, didn't react. But my nigga, that's gonna go to that's what I would have issue with. Let's say if you were doing an interview and you didn't react or nothing like that, I would understand that. But to still put that in, I'd be like, yo, my nigga, like you didn't react and you're still gonna put that in?
No, that I could absolutely agree with you. That probably would have never saw the light of day.
Yeah.
And shit, I would have told Gucci after, felt like, you know, I can't put that last part out.
Exactly. Afterwards, you're gonna be like, hey, my nigga, like, hey, you know what it is. I can't do that.
Right. But, you know, again, we're in the hot topic era. So it's like he knew what was going to make the interview buzz. And
Could be.
And that's the crazier part because it's a long fucking interview.
Yeah, it is. It's long.
Everything that was said in that interview, that's the part that got all the shit.
Right.
So
that's what everybody was looking for. This is an interview that's coming back after the Breakfast Club thing. So it's like, oh shit, Gucci on the interview with Charlamagne. Oh, we looking for some shit.
And I also think that was kind of, you know, it almost came off as amateur on Charlamagne's part because if you listen to some of the questioning when he was bringing it up, he's ultimately trying to get Gucci, not necessarily to apologize, but at least take back what he said. And I'm like, come on, dog. Like you saw when you brought it up the first time that old Gucci is very much so still alive and well in this man. So to kind of revert back to it, to open up the conversation again to where he goes crazy on Angela Yee, I'm like, you should know better.
Right. He should know better about that. And then on top of that, just being a content creator, like, you just had this interview with Breakfast Club. It's hot right now. So you double down and follow up with an interview with Gucci Mane. I'm not saying you can't do that interview or anything like that, but that shouldn't have been the interview that came right after the Breakfast Club shit.
Right.
You could have did 2-3 interviews and then put out the Gucci shit, and maybe you would have got this heat. Maybe you wouldn't. But it just seems real, like Charlamagne, like you was trying to find something, like you was trying to get something out of this man, and unfortunately you got it.
I don't even think it was him trying to get something out of him, but I think he recognized the
he recognized
buzz.
something was there. Yeah,
he recognized the buzz that was going to come from it because he even said in the thing, he said, "Man, they're going to hate me now." You know what I'm saying? Like he recognized that I'm going to put this entire thing out because that's what's going to make this float. If he had the appropriate conversation prior, even showed them the interview, I feel like a lot of the reactions would be different. At least when it comes down to the team, because I don't know if you watch, if you've been watching the Breakfast Club since everything went down. There is definitely.
I hear it's awkward. I didn't watch it. It was real awkward, especially on the interview today, right after with fucking who? With was it with Trevor Noah. Mm-hmm. I heard that interview was like real awkward, like because you can feel like it was tension in there.
Like it was definitely an issue, and I think that's also where he honestly fucked up because there was no prior knowledge to any of it. Right. It looked very self-fulfilling.
That's what I'm saying. It
was meant to get over Charlamagne.
Exactly. And for him, like it's gonna be bad because I don't know. I'm pretty sure the man's paid. He got other ventures and so on and so forth. But I'm pretty sure if it's not the number one thing, I'm pretty sure the Breakfast Club is probably dishing out the more money. The reason being is because, my nigga, you go there every day. You're not going somewhere every day that's not making you money. You got other shit that's making you money. You're just not.
Well, at this point, I don't even think he's getting paid by Power 105. I think that all that Breakfast Club money is Revolt now.
Either way.
So it's a solid
either way, like, my nigga, like, you got to go to work with these people and you doing something that's shady. Like, there got to be some integrity there.
Right.
There's not. And since we're on Charlamagne, I kind of got it. At first, it's funny. When Charlamagne was out and he was having buzz, but he wasn't there yet. Mm-hmm. I was like, man, I don't fuck with him. He just seemed real corny to me. Mm-hmm. And then I started listening to the Brilliant in his podcast. So it kind of got me a little bit like, okay, he's not so bad. You know what I mean? I rock with him a little bit. And then as of late, I'm like, nah, this nigga's a cornball, son.
As his star as rose more, he's definitely
this nigga's a cornball. And I notice he's like the Gucci thing. He uses whatever momentum that he has at the moment to capitalize on it, regardless on the backlash. Mm. Like, for instance, this was a while ago, but I was just reviewing this podcast, and he had said something, and Schultz was like making fun of him because he was talking funny. You know what I mean? Mm. Naturally, friend shit. And for like 2 podcasts after that, he was like fixing his word. He fixed his words. Like he made sure he didn't make that same mistake. Mm. And now as I'm listening, like every other word out of his mouth is like really is mispronounced, or the diction has got a lisp in it or something like that. Now he could actually has a lisp in something like that, but the reason I have an issue is because I've seen you actually talk like you got some fucking sense. Mm. And now I'm seeing that you're not. And my issue with that whole thing is like, I don't give a fuck how you talk or anything like that. My issue is like, now I feel like you're doing this because people are noticing it and they're looking for it. Mm. You know what I mean? So I feel like you're doing it instead of just being yourself. So I'm looking at Charlamagne like, yo, I understand like you're a media head, you're a figure, but my nigga, you're a cornball. Mm. And I said to your face, you're a cornball. That's just how I feel about it.
Hey, there's no problem with that. He's like, that's just where I'm at.
That's just where I'm at. You're a cornball.
What's going to happen with him, with how things are going right now, he's going to have that Kevin Hart treatment. Ooh. It's ultimately heading there because at one point, people liked Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
No one has liked Charlamagne the God.
True.
From back when he used to say his most outrageous shit to where he's at now. People have never fucked with Charlamagne the God, but now people feel as if they have a reason.
Exactly.
And again, even though I understand, I also think it's some bullshit going off of this because of the hypocrisy around it. Mm-hmm. It's because of the fact that when it happens to Charlamagne, when it happens to Envy, when it happens to Yee on the show sometimes, right. When it initially happened, and Gucci was on the show trying to say that Yee was trying to get at him, they were feeding into it.
True.
I just think that because it was him, all of a sudden it was a bigger issue. Like having feelings towards whoever. In some cases, I'm like, damn, at some point you got to recognize that this is just the industry that they in. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, was it fucked up? Yeah. But this is the industry. If we're going to give a fuck about something like that, give a fuck across the board.
You're right.
If it's really going to be a problem like that, give a fuck across the board. That's the only thing I ever asked for. To me, that's equality.
You're right. You're absolutely right about that.
So I don't know. Like that's the part I couldn't really get with. But as far as him leaving it in, yeah, that was definitely some sucker shit. And it looks terrible.
Yeah.
It looks really bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, I mean, hopefully you got to take shit as a learning experience. So hopefully he look back at this and be like, you know what? Not saying this will come up again, but if it does, I know how to move.
Is he going to be good in corporate America? Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
But as far as the people that got him there, is going to start dwindling even more.
Yeah.
As far as the actual interview itself, I was actually really impressed with Gucci.
Yeah.
You could tell that.
Yeah, I see some growth. I mean, there's still some Gucci there, but I see some growth.
It's a lot of Gucci there.
Yeah.
But when he was talking about it, he was like, I'm going to slap shit out of him, man. It'll be the first time I get slapped. I was like, yeah, that's fat Gucci.
Yeah.
That's fat Gucci with the bad breathing problem. But listening to his responses, like, first of all, I'm like, Gucci Mane is media trained. That's weird. Secondly, knowing that this man has business ventures and like he's like really rocking with shit and recognizing where his drug problem was, like it was super weird. Like this is one of those moments that when you bring back up Gucci Mane as a clone, It's like, yeah, probably. 'Cause that is not the nigga that was freestyling with Waka and OJ the Juice Man.
Yeah, that's not him.
That is definitely not that nigga. But I enjoyed that. And the only reason I enjoyed it is because I think when you kind of get to a place where you get it, you know, you get the industry that you're in, you get what it's going to take. You ain't got to be different, you know what I'm saying, to who you are.
You just move. You just know how to move.
You just got to know how to move. And I think that's what he learned in there. He even said, he was like, bro, there's relationships that I'm probably never going to get back because how fucked up of an individual I was. You know what I mean? And even he speak on a dude that he killed. He was like, nah, that nigga violated.
I see that. He said he violated. He had to go. That was definitely old Gucci.
I was like, there go.
That was definitely old Gucci.
Right there. But again, I look at certain stuff like that, and I just think everyone eventually gets to that point. And I think that's probably why I fuck with YB and Cordae as much as I do. Because
I've been seeing a lot of people, I don't want to say within our generation, within our age bracket that have mentioned that name. And I'm like, I don't know, man. He got too many syllables before his name.
It's the letters that take you out because I had no interest in listening to him. Because I think there's a YFN Lucci and all these other motherfuckers.
It's too many goddamn syllables.
I had the exact same feeling. They was like, no, you got to listen to YB and Cordae. And I did. And I was like, there's no way this nigga's like 19. You know what I mean? Like,
I'll give it a shot.
You heard the record with Anderson .Paak.
No.
You haven't. It's literally a single.
No.
Man. Yeah.
I don't listen to like the radio, dog. So
This is true. Definitely give him a shot.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a shot. I'll give him a shot.
You can tell he's one of those cats that he was raised by, like he was the product of a very young of an early motherhood. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no way he was rocking, you know, to the shit that some of these other motherfuckers was rocking to when they came up. Because everything about his style is what we recognize.
Gotcha.
And the nigga actually goes off. But I say all that to say, people like YB and Cordae. He recognizes that if you're gonna have longevity, you know, you can have your fun, but you also got to be prepared. You got to know how to present yourself because as soon as shit go left, it go left. We just had the conversation. I'm gonna give you the floor now in dealing with this when we had the conversation about Lil Yachty.
Hey, let me tell you something. I told you motherfuckers that this guy was a fucking fraud.
I don't know who spoke against Kev, but y'all got this nigga up. Y'all should have seen the message he sent me.
I told y'all, like, yo, this dude is a fraud. He's not really about it. Now, don't get me wrong. To have the mindset of being like, yo, I can do this and be good at this to get some type of profit, to have that type of mindset is gold anywhere. So I give you that. But when you're in the game of hip hop, my nigga, come on. That shit was terrible. And then, you know, I stopped even saying dude's name because, you know, now he doesn't even go by Yachty no more.
Does he?
Well, I mean, he does, but he go by Lil Boat. I was the only motherfucker calling him that. So I just want to tell y'all that. I was right. Fuck y'all.
Long story short.
Yeah, I was right. Fuck y'all.
So what exactly happened?
No, I think the picture was like, he was, I don't know if he was getting arrested. Hold on. I think I still got the picture on my phone. I don't. It was something that he had owed some people money, or he owed like a jeweler money. It was something of that nature.
That's what it was. He was getting sued by a jeweler.
Yeah, because he owed him money. And I'm like, yo, if you are really like about this shit, like you really doing it, like I'm assuming the YB and Cordae's or whoever, hell, even the little Uzi kid. I don't see the Uzi kid having his issue. You know what I mean? And wasn't he part of what's that group in Atlanta? Is it? I don't know why I want to say it. I could be wrong. PC, was that it?
QC,
well, yeah. Wasn't they backing him for a while? Because I remember like
I think he is still QC.
I remember when Buttons was like talking shit about him. Migos was like at Button because it was you ain't see them niggas nowhere around.
I'm about to say so you couldn't get the Migos paid
right? Bill? You couldn't see. Let me see. I got the picture right here. Yeah, sued by a jeweler. He still owes $233,000. Tried to pay $70,000 of it with a bounce check. And this was a quote from him, bro. If I had it, I would give it to you. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you out. If I had it, I just pay it. But I got bills to pay, taxes, debt. All that money went instantly with his teeth and I just traded jewelry for. Like, my nigga, really? But when the old heads quote was trying to tell you, like, yo, this could potentially happen, you wasn't trying to hear it. And then the people that was backing you because they saw something in you or whatever it was, they wasn't trying to hear it either. And now you can't pay for your teeth.
But that actually gets into one of the things that I kind of wanted to talk about, but I ain't gonna go too much into it. That's really how this entire generation. Well,
yeah.
However you want to separate the actual generation.
Yeah, because I see that now I'm starting to see that there is a line Like you got all these new millennium kids, but I guess like the YBNs, like there's a line. Like you got some of them that
the younger millennials and then Gen Z.
Yeah,
like all of them, like they did exactly that. Oh, so what if he signed a 360 deal? He's still gonna get paid. Yada yada yada.
No, he's not.
Fast forward, the nigga owes money to a jeweler. You look at the same way with drugs and everybody sipping lean. Like I think I just saw. Who was gonna bother me now? I can't remember who the fuck this guy was. I'm about to look at it right now. Googling.
Yo. This nigga was on a Target commercial. He was on a
was
Sprite commercial. He was on like, how do you have 70,000 of money you don't have?
Bro, he was a ghostwriter. He was the writer of the City Girls' biggest record.
So I'm saying, like, come on, like, I can smell the fraud, son.
Oh yeah, definitely. Famous Dex just had a seizure at his show. There's actually a video of it. That's nothing that sucks with the generation. They got a video of fucking everything. It's pretty scary to watch. Because it's two people holding them up.
Well, apparently videos seem like they'd be scary watching this day and age.
Yeah,
anyway.
at this point, I ain't pressing play on shit. But there's a fan holding his head, another fan holding his legs, and he's just shaking, like violently shaking. Now, I know he recently said, I want to say like in March or something like that, he was quitting, lean and all this other shit. But I mean, Lil Wayne also said he was quitting lean, and he just had a seizure last year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We lost Mac. Fucking when all these Lils were starting to take off, who's the one that we lost? Lil Peep. Yep.
I can only remember him because he reminds me of the little marshmallow candy.
The actual Peep.
Yeah.
Peeps. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like you look at all that shit and then they still like, nah, I'm still gonna drink lean. I'm gonna drink lean until I die.
I don't understand that. Like you see, I mean, like you said, there's videos of everything. So you see these other people. I don't even want to say celebrities, but you see these other people having seizures because they're consuming this, and you be like, nah, it ain't gonna happen to me. I'm gonna still do it.
Right.
I don't understand that. I really don't understand that. Because even like I mentioned before on the show, as a teenager, like teenage boys, yeah, you do have that I'm invincible complex. But at some point in that complex, you're like, yo, I think I'm invincible, but I don't know about that shit over there.
Right.
Where was that with any of these guys?
It's lean and Xanny bars. That's all they doing. Like I said, when Mac Miller died, and when they found out he was dead, everyone hoped that it wasn't, but everyone knew what exactly happened. And then when it came out, it was overdose. Like, okay, we knew. It even got to the point where they were fucking indicted his damn drug dealer. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to make it seem as if it wasn't an overdose, but we all know what the fuck it was. And really, if you even go back and look at shit, you remember when Webby was having seizures on stage?
Yeah, I remember that. Wasn't he like the first people that we was hearing about having seizures?
Bro, having seizures, multiple seizures. You know what I'm saying?
It was like every other show he had a seizure.
He was having so many seizures that he used to get irritated in interviews about getting asked about that nigga's country as fuck. We asked about goddamn seizures. And he was upset. But like, we saw happen with Webby shit. The nigga that introduced lean to the industry, DJ Screw, is no longer here because of a fucking overdose. You know what I'm saying? So you look at all of that shit, man, and it's crazy that no one from the generation that they're speaking to, right, is taking heed to any of that shit. Yeah. Now we're watching Yachty struggle. We're watching niggas. We just watched Lil Uzi Vert get stuck not being able to put out an album because he didn't check his paperwork. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? All the extra,
and the old heads telling you to check your paperwork. You don't want to listen to
shit. Even it sucks to say, God rest the dead, but even like XXXTentacion, he knew he wasn't going to get touched. He knew he wasn't going to get touched to the point where he would tell motherfuckers exactly where he was at.
That's that invincible mentality.
With the amount of money he had on him and what he was riding in. And the second he came out from blowing a bag, he got touched.
Went to work.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy to really think about it. And it's also crazy that it's not registering to these niggas.
Yeah, it's really not. It's not registering
it's
at all.
It's not registering at all. Like, y'all quit to call somebody a old nigga, an old motherfucker, but it's like everything we're trying to tell you, and we're not even the old niggas, we're 30. Yeah. Everything we're trying to tell you, like, the shit is happening. Yeah. So, like, what else needs to happen for it to, really process and truly get through? Because we come from the era that our rappers were just getting killed. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And that was more so, that was drug deals and shit like that.
Right, it was drug deals or some gang
robberies.
Like
yeah.
that.
It wasn't, you didn't hear about nobody dying because they got too fucking high.
That's what I'm saying. We weren't having ODs back then.
Yeah, so.
Everybody was getting shot. Like if YG came out in the early 90s, probably would have got shot.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, anybody that banged on another goddamn gang member at his home concert, absolutely, that nigga's getting shot in 94.
Yeah, that shit was so hard, though. That shit was hard.
It was. But that started to slow down. I think the last, outside of Nipsey, which ultimately was some gang shit.
Now, we're not going to dive on this. We're going to say this in another episode, but I just want to put this question in here. What happened to his killer? we have not seen nothing.
Yeah, you're right. We haven't heard.
And I'm gonna let you marinate on that, and we'll talk about it again. I'm gonna just let you marinate.
Well, yeah, we'll definitely dive into that on a later podcast. Actually, it's another conversation I want to have about it with. Did you see what Whack 100 said about him?
No.
We'll say
we'll dive into it.
We'll say this for next. We can actually have a really good conversation about it. But anyway, excluding Nipsey because that's obviously some gang shit. You know what I'm saying? I think the last person like known rapper that got killed was and shit, I'm trying to remember his damn name. Fresh Montana's homeboy. Chinks Drugs. That's the last nigga we had to get killed. You know what I mean? And
I think that was probably I don't want to say some gang shit, but it was some street shit. It wasn't no drugs.
It was definitely some street related shit. He was in the neighborhoods that he, the shit, would go down that. And that's the only part that keeps them from getting killed is going back to these actual neighborhoods.
Exactly. Like everybody that from our generation, like rappers that we see get killed, it's because they always go back to their own hood. They say, hey, yo, once you make it, get out.
Get the fuck out. Exactly.
Just get out. You know what I mean? And I guess that can go for anybody because I was sitting there thinking about like Beat. I was like, you know what? What if Beat, because we've been moving. So I was like, what if Beat within the next 6 months, we just take off? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like we really, really take off. Like, we're up there. We're up there in podcasts. I'll just say that. Mm. Would I move or would I stay? Because I mean, yeah, I know people know me from hooping, but nobody checking for me. My phone dry all the time. Ain't nobody checking for me. The only message I get is from you.
I don't even know what my notifications
you know what I mean?
Like.
My shit stay on silent. So I thought to myself, like, would I really like leave? And I thought about it like, I can say that now since I'm not there, but I think I would probably have to because you never know what the next motherfucker is thinking. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? For all we know, I mean, in hindsight, I hope this is not true, but then I kind of hope it is true. For all we know, somebody could be looking at like, yeah, them niggas over there at Beat, they making moves, they doing this, they doing that. So when we do get to the level we going, one of us could be a target. Who knows? I'm just saying who knows, you know what I mean? So I really thought about that. But again, you're right. All of our rappers, they end up going back to their old hood and shit goes left from there.
Exactly. Like they used to willingly kind of walk into those kind of situations. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying it makes it any better. And I'm not saying that that's just a much more, admirable way to die. Like at the end of the day, nigga, live until your heart can't go no more. Right. Don't expedite the shit. You know what I mean? Exactly. And shit, another nigga that we talk about on this show often, fucking 6ix9ine. He's another example, but it just seems like when shit keeps happening, that we would tell them is going to happen, somebody runs to their aid. Like now,
either that or they just don't want to listen. Like the 6ix9ine, Fat Joe told him, I think like the same week or the week before, yo, the feds coming. Right. And a week later, them motherfuckers came.
But I'm talking about the actual supporters who actually.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because when you really look at it, now snitching is popularized.
That's fucking nuts.
Now snitching is the thing to do because everybody's like, man, shit, I'll do the exact same thing. Like, but y'all got to realize. If you're in a gang, like if you're going to snitch on Tim because Tim he was the one that was stealing the money from work, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, then I get you doing that because it's not a problem. This motherfucker was claiming a whole set.
Yeah, I think people got to understand that it's different. Right. Snitching is not just broad all across the board. You know what I mean? Like you said, if you snitching on Tim because he's stealing money out, y'all civilians, y'all. Okay, do your fucking thing. Okay, fine. But if you out there in them streets and you're repping this, or even if you're not repping, but you out there in the streets and you fuck with niggas that are, that's just snitching shit don't fly. Right. And that's what these young cats don't realize. They realize they can just say anything and
they're gonna fuck around and get somebody killed.
Yeah, and what's gonna need to happen in order for that to change is the wrong person gonna have to get snitched on and make an example. And niggas don't have to shut up. That's the only way. Other than that, it's gonna keep happening.
The fucked up thing about it is 6ix9ine's gonna be that example.
No, I mean like somebody's gonna have to kill him.
That's what I'm saying.
He could be that example.
He just signed a hell of a deal for 2 albums.
That's watch his dumb ass go back to his hood.
That's gonna, yeah, absolutely. Because he already said he doesn't want witness protection. Around the clock security is gonna be what does it for him. But exactly that. Once that money starts to dwindle, because it's gonna dwindle, because none of y'all niggas know y'all business. Once that money starts to dwindle, you gotta cut off some of them security guards, and then eventually them shifts they're gonna go from around the clock to a real quick 8 hour.
To be honest, man. I've learned, my mother told me this, like, cause I was a kid, I used to be like afraid of the dark and the boogeyman and shit like that. She was like, baby, if something's going to happen to you, if something's going to get you, then it's going to get you. So that always stuck with me. And I applied that to that same situation. 6ix9ine can have around the clock security. America lost plenty of fucking U.S. soldiers in 9/11 and them was the top tier niggas. Right. And you're not hiring them. So what makes you think that them niggas can't get touched to get to you? What makes you think that one of them won't do it to get to you?
Because I think trolls don't realize that Once you log off, you're a regular motherfucker. You're
Maybe.
Fred.
Right.
Once you get off the internet.
Fred at GameStop.
Right. Once you get off Instagram, it's just like when we had Junior the Truth on here. When he said that little motherfucker was constantly just bugging him, just chipping at him. He was like, nigga, I took your IP address. This is your house.
I know where you at.
This is your name.
Right.
This is the school you go to. That nigga ain't say shit else to him.
Right. People need to realize that these media personalities or regular people, that's their job. That's what they're doing to put food on the table. That's not who they are or what they're about. I mean, yes, you do get some people that's all about their job or whatever the case is, but 9 times out of 10, that's just their job. The same, like for instance, I remember I was watching the interview. This was an old interview, and it was an interview with Tyrese, or it was somebody, and they were talking about Tyrese. Like, yeah, that's singing niggas, so on and so forth. Great. Tyrese is a singer. But to that nigga, he's from Watts.
Right. At the end of the day.
You know what I mean? So you got to understand that that's their profession. You know what I mean? That's what they choose to do to put food on the table. That doesn't change that they won't get at you.
Right.
And that's what these young kids don't realize.
That's what they don't get, man. I just, hope the best for them.
We can pray for them.
And it sucks that it's going to have to come down to a major example.
Exactly.
For something to really switch it up.
Something to really happen.
I mean, let that be that. I feel like I was on schedule because we're an hour and 6 in. So, Kev, letting people know where they can find you.
_Hollywood Kev _ is my Instagram. I noticed I didn't give that last week. And Hollywood Kev with 2 underscores is my Twitter.
All right. At Big Los IG on IG, Big Los 89 on Snapchat. If you weren't on my Snapchat back when the Revolt Summit was happening, you missed some shit. Even though we put out some of those videos anyway. Mm-hmm. But yeah, y'all definitely missed a fantastic time. Go ahead and do that. Of course, follow us on everything Beat Network at beatnetworkonline.com. And of course, at The Noize Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. DLeZaye is still in the building. Did you want to give your info, or you don't want any more communal strokes? Now, before you say what your stuff is, I need you to understand. You're probably going to start getting audition tapes now.
No. Never mind. No, my Instagram is at d.1920. My Twitter is at DLeZaye. DLeZaye.
All right, there it is. Send all your dick material.
Please don't.
Your circle jerks, they go there.
Trust me. If you need somebody with experience, you need somebody with, with an eye for the shit.
You just need somebody to vent to.
You need someone to vent to, just, with dicks. Just go ahead, go for it. As always, we appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, we appreciate the support. And as always, it's Big Los.
Hollywood Kev.
It's The Noize.